about two unhappy couples. Both make mistaken marriages. The plot takes place in a little town called Middlemarch in the year 1872. Rosamond Vinci, a beautiful but selfish young woman, married an ambitious and well-seen doctor, Lydgate. They were not equally attractive to each other, as they had different expectations from life. Rosamond just wanted to settle down, while Lydgate was focused on his career.
Do you know, Lydgate, I often wish you had not been a medical man.
No, Rosie, don't say that. That is like saying you wish you had married another man.
Not at all. You're clever enough for anything. You might easily be something else.
But
Still, I do not think it's a nice profession, dear.
it's the greatest profession in the world. If you say you don't like my job, it's like saying you don't like me. Because what I do is what I am. Don't say that again, dear. It hurts me.
Rosamond did not approve her husband's job, and wanting to fix their marriage, he simply followed her will. He started to heal wealthy people only. He wasn't doing what he was meant to do, and that was killing him from the inside. Rosamond simply continued to be mild in her temper, disposed to admonish her husband, and able to frustrate him by stratagems.
Doctor, you should take some medication for your illness, unless you won't make till the end of the year.
I could, but I won't. I'd rather die than disappoint my wife.
Yes, I understand, but you know that it's not a solution.
And this was the end of their marriage. Lydgate died, and Rosamond continued living her life. Meanwhile, there was another married couple, with different problems, but the same disappointment. Dorothea was a kind and rich heiress, whose dream had come true. She married an intellectual, Casimir, even thought she was half his age. He was a clergyman and an academic, always absorbed in his readings. Dorothea admired him greatly, and thought that by becoming his wife, she could help him with his work. Dorothea was a beautiful and altruistic woman that unfortunately had wrong expectation about this marriage.
Darling, what are you doing? Do you need any help?
Dorothea, let you see that I'm working.
Yes, sorry, but I was wondering if I could help you somehow.
And how on earth could it help me? Like I said, you can leave now.
They both felt very sad and disappointed. Casaubon wanted to control her, but he couldn't. He never showed any feelings for Dorothea, even thought he was jealous and suspicious. She was unhappy and becoming depressed because her husband was not the person she had expected him to be. He was cold and not as clever as she had thought before. Dorothea was lucky because Casaubon died early. She married another man and finally understood what marriage was really about. Mutual understanding between two people who are alike. We tried to adapt these two couples to the present age and wondered what changes could have happened to them. Do you remember Rosamond, the selfish and manipulating beauty? She still doesn't approve her husband's job, but this time things are different.
Lydgate, you know, I was thinking about your job.
Always the same story.
And do you know what? I think you could do better than being a simple doctor in the city hospital. Maybe you can open a private clinic and earn more money.
Please stop it. I want my freedom.
After a few weeks of no talk between the two spouses, a friend of Lydgate's advised him to go to a marriage therapist, and even though Rosamond seems to be against the idea, later on she agreed. After 2 months of therapy, They realized that there was an important thing that kept them apart in their marriage: lack of communication.
Honey, I have to admit that I was so wrong. I'm sorry, I'll never try to manipulate you for my own pleasure.
It doesn't matter anymore. I'm just avoiding you. I should have spoken my mind.
How can you possibly think that I would ever be disappointed? If law were to do, just keep on doing it. From now on, all that matters is our happiness.
And are you happy now?
I am if you are.
Yes, I am.
In the end, we can see that nothing is lost and almost everything can be solved. Before giving up, we can at least try to save what remains of our relationship. As for the other couple, things were different. They were not meant for each other, and that was more evident every day.
Tell me, Casaban, what do you really think of me?
What are you trying to say, darling?
You know what I mean, and please do not call me darling.
Dorothea, you're my wife. I think the best of you.
Oh, really? And what would that be?
Well, you are very kind.
Kind? And that's the best I can get. I can't believe who am I married to.
What did you expect?
Sincerely, I expected some of your appreciation for my effort. Do you think I'm worth of some of yours?
Of course.
And do you think I'm smart enough to help you in your work?
Well, you're not stupid, but how on earth could you help me in your work?
So you do think I'm stupid?
No. This is turning into a very unpleasant situation. I want this conversation to keep going on.
You know what? Me neither. This marriage will never work. We're so different.
And what would that difference be?
Souls, darling, souls. I have one, you don't.
After that conversation, it kept on getting worse. They tried to save what remained of their relationship, but in contrast with the other couple, they never had anything at all. Dorothea made the final decision and asked for divorce. Casaban could not but agree. This is how we imagined the relationship would end. Dorothea found a man who could understand her and love her. He appreciated her and thought the best of her. And regarding the work, they did everything together. It was a perfectly balanced marriage, and they lived happily ever after. As for Casaban, I can't tell. No one has ever heard of him since then.